3 county agencies on the island of Maui have been subpoenaed by the state attorney general's office after failing to provide information needed for the state investigation into the August wildfires. Not quite 4 months later, the state investigation is focused on fire locations and a timeline of events, and it's still lacking critical facts, according to the Fire Safety Research Institute, which was hired by the state's attorney general. "Until that happens, this critical process cannot move forward," said Attorney General Ann Lopez. She said that some Maui agencies have cooperated with investigators, but that subpoenas were issued to the Maui Emergency Management Agency, the Maui Department of Public Works, and the Maui Department of Water Supply. Mahina Martin, a spokeswoman for Mayor Richard Bisson's office, said in a statement on Monday evening that the county has cooperated fully with the investigation. However, she acknowledged the county has not shared everything investigators asked for. She said the county received 8 requests for information totaling 80 items. Of those, 32 were submitted to investigators. 20 are pending, either due to processing or a response from the department that holds the records, Martin said. Additionally, 12 items require Federal Department of Homeland Security clearance before they can be produced. The remaining items requested are either not under the custodianship or jurisdiction of the county, or are too general, and are pending further clarification from the state and its contractor Fire Safety Research Institute. Civil Beat asked the AG's office to share what information it is seeking through the subpoenas, but the office declined on Monday. Civil Beat filed a public records request for copies of the subpoenas Monday afternoon. Phase 1 of the probe was supposed to be completed within 3 months, but will now likely take longer, according to the AG's office. A revised date for sharing the results of the first phase will be announced at a later date. The Honolulu Civil Beat said it contacted all 3 agencies and got no response from any of them. Civil Beat has filed its own public records requests with the Maui Emergency Management Agency, including text messages, Emergency Operations Center activity logs, requests for assistance to the state and its continuity plan, outlining who is in charge if top leadership is absent, as was the case on August 8th.
These 3 Attorney General subpoenas command that Maui County turn over the records on December 11th at 9 a.m., giving the county 2 weeks to comply or face court sanctions.
Now, they could show up and not have those records. They could be held in contempt. They would have to explain why they didn't provide those records.
Well, we are being extremely cooperative, especially under the circumstances of what we're dealing with in our day-to-day running of the county government.
The 3 subpoenas list 43 requests, some for multiple elements, like every sort of communication between then Emergency Management Director Herman Andaya and the agency, but also what seem like easy asks, like organizational charts and the West Maui Emergency Plan.
That really should exist and should not be hard to turn over, right?
Yes, and I think other people and other reporters have speculated that those plans do not exist, and that's probably true.
Retired Emergency Management Executive Toby Claremont said plans would guide how agencies drill to collaborate in a crisis.
If they haven't done any of those things, yeah, that's a problem.
It looks as though they want to find out what the Maui County did or didn't do to anticipate a potential problem.
The subpoenas were issued by the AG based on questions from the National Fire Safety Research Institute, which is conducting the investigation, which Mayor Bisson says he supports.
We want this information, Darryl. We want this information. We want to know what happened to. But we also are trying to get people in housing and dealing with issues that are in front of us right now.
But former prosecutor and Judge Randy Lee said if the county was truly cooperating, subpoenas wouldn't be necessary.
It might be embarrassing to the county. It might be embarrassing to some county officials. And the only third thing would be it may open up the county to liability.
We're in the middle of a crisis and we're responding.
The AG is not the only organization waiting for these documents and questions to be answered. HNN Investigates has been requesting them since not long after the fire. And just like the Attorney General, we're still waiting for some of the most important pieces. Darryl.